Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Death Note. Last time on Death Note, we had Confrontation, where basically, Light has found his rival in this whole Death Note game. He has found a rival who goes by the letter L. Doesn't really have a name, we don't really know what he looks like either. Oh my god, this fucking menu is moving and it's bugging me. Alright, makers of DVDs, here's a little lesson for you. To everyone that makes DVDs, don't have an unskippable video. Shit, I just went back to the fucking thing. Title menu. Oh my god, this DVD could be a lot better. Whatever. Anyway, we had Confrontation. We met L, who is going to be investigating all these interesting, heart attack murders, and he basically challenged Light, now under the alias of Kira online. And yeah, it's going to be this big, epic thing to see who kills who first. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Just don't. It's not cool, man. And with that being said, before we get into the reaction itself, this is where I actually say that because of copyright issues, the reaction portion of this video cannot be hosted on YouTube. If you want to watch my short highlight reaction, with the nice footage in the corner, you can go down in the description, or there ought to be a pinned comment, but definitely in the description, you can find a link to go watch the nice reaction, and when you're done with that, you can head back over here for the discussion. So yeah, you can go do that at this time, and after you do that, obviously come back for the discussion. I will see you guys there. Okay, another good episode. Man, introducing even more stuff. It's nuts, man. I mean, that's the thing, is that it's amazing how much they've already done in these first 3 episodes, when there's only, 36 episodes overall? 36, 37? There's just so much, man. And I can only assume that the show ends when one of them dies. When either Light or L dies. But I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what happens. But, yeah. We'll have to see. So let's go ahead and get straight into the notes. Dang it. I'm out of drink. I could really use one. I think I've got some water back here, actually. There we go. Alright. So, the first thing I wrote down was the student aspect of the investigation. So this was clever. Man, L really thinks of stuff, really, really fast. He's really getting this all down almost immediately. So, we did have that L suspected that Kira is a student because of the time of day when these are happening, which is interesting. Because I kind of thought, we kind of said in the last episode, I think, that, does L suspect that Kira is in Japan, specifically because of, the time at which this would occur? But they ended up going, using the time aspect for determining if he was a student in Japan, which was very clever, because yes, it is from 4 p.m. to, they said 2 a.m. Shit, how much sleep does Light get, honestly? So yeah, so it's generally from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m., but I think they said something else about it. I'm gonna go back and check. They said something else, and then they mentioned the holidays.
In the last few days throughout the world, Kira's only killing criminals. I think it's safe to assume that he's driven by a very idealistic.
We didn't want to rule anything out, so we followed standard procedure and created files for all 21 of them.
Why would people confess to being Kira? I don't get that. I guess they just wanted to be famous.
Upon further investigation, we have confirmed that information of the heart attack victims was in fact publicly available in Japan immediately prior to their deaths. Also, concerning L's request that we investigate the time of death for each victim, we found that all of them occurred between the hours of 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. on weekdays, local time, with 68% of them occurring between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m.
Okay, so 68% were between... Oh, okay, so that's just the broad general scope. From 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. is when they would happen. When, basically when any of them could occur. But the majority of them happen between 8 o'clock and midnight local time. That's actually very interesting. Because, Light says, like, oh, I have to spend as much time as I can writing names. But at the same time, he is still trying to be him. He probably has his own homework to do, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he gets through it all in the day. But he also, has to eat dinner, like we saw here. He has to help his sister with her homework. So, yeah. So that makes sense. But a majority of it is between 8 p.m. and midnight.
Weekends and holidays appear to be the exception to this rule, as the times of death vary much more widely than during the week.
Okay, holidays are very different. How long has this been going on, I wonder? Long enough that several holidays have passed. So yeah. So that's interesting that, obviously it makes sense holidays, is kind of the exception to the rule because he would be home during the day. If he doesn't have school on that particular holiday, then he has all day to write as much as he wants, basically. So that's very interesting. I'm really enjoying L as our sort of antagonist, I guess. He's just everything that he thinks about is so amazing. And, showing up the entire police force, which is interesting. I wrote, okay, here's big twist. Here's the big twist. The chief of police is Light's father. Holy crap, that was a twist, man. That was a twist. I love that, though. Like, it just happens. It's like, oh, because he shows up, and it's like, oh, I guess Dad's home. And it's like, you have a father? Because you haven't shown him the past 2 episodes. And it's like, that voice doesn't, I don't know, that voice sounded familiar, and it was just him, and I was like, no shit. That's incredible that his own father is investigating him, and he just doesn't know it. That is an incredible twist right there. So yeah, that was amazing. And because of that, because his father is the chief of police, he can easily hack into his files, into police files, and figure out what they know. And so that's how he figures out that they're going with the student angle on him. Sorry, I got really thirsty just there. Oh well. Sometimes you start drinking water and you just can't stop for a little while. Anyway. So, yeah, so he already figured out that they're doing the student angle. Again, this is where it's like, there's 36 episodes or something in this series, and it's like, how? We're on episode 3 and this investigation's already going nuts. So, yeah. So I like that. And then it's interesting because, he can do the details of death. I didn't even realize this about the Death Note, but with, being able to put in the details of the death, you can put in the time of death, and it can be a while, It makes me wonder, how long can you delay a death, honestly? So that's very interesting that if he now, that's only if he writes heart attack. So he has to specifically write their name and then write heart attack, then he can put in the time of death, basically, and he can delay it, hours upon hours later. And so he started doing that, having one new death every hour on the hour. Every hour on the hour, in order to kind of throw them off the trail. But again, Elle is so smart that he's like, well, this could just be a way to throw us off the trail. He's like, yes, it's possible that he's not actually a student, or it's possible that he knows what we're doing and he has access to police records. So that puts it again, adds another thing. Again, this is only episode 3. I love this series, man. Just how much goes into each episode is incredible. So yeah. The delaying the death, that is interesting. And, it's like Ryuk said, it's like, this is probably the best person you would want to have the Death Note. It's like, Light is taking advantage of every aspect of the Death Note, and it's pretty amazing. So now Elle has to investigate the police in order to figure out which one of them is the connection to Kira, basically. And because of that, now the police might end up going against Elle. So he's trying to pit the two of them against each other. How well that will work out, I don't know. He says, like, okay, well, I don't have to find Elle. I'll let the police do that. It's like, I don't think the police are that good to find Elle. That's the thing. Granted, I guess no one has ever tried investigating Elle, but I don't think that's gonna work. Plus, the police, I don't know if you would want to do that, because if the police do that, then they run the risk of, Elle's name and face getting out to the world. So, and if that happens, then Light can kill him, and this is over, basically. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that whole idea of pitting Elle against the police will actually work out. But he is investigating the police, and he's even getting the FBI involved, apparently, which is really interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure how well that particular aspect of the plan is going to work, but Elle is investigating the police, and it's possible that the guy that's following Light is working for Elle or the police. So we'll have to see. And then I wrote down resign, the officers that resigned, because it is entirely possible. I got a text or something. Oh well, we'll wrap this up in a few minutes. Because it's entirely possible that Kira will come after them, which is a strong possibility. However, I will say they do need to think about the fact that, Kira really is just going and killing. Well, Kira is killing criminals. He's primarily killing criminals, and but he does kill those that oppose him, because he tried to kill Elle. When he killed Lind L. Taylor, he killed that person thinking that was Elle, and it didn't work. So he did try, but the thing is, the police, they are on public record. They're not hiding themselves. They're police officers. They're on the public record with their name, with their face, and that's all Kira needs in order to end them. So I do understand the 3 of them that did resign. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the last thing I wrote down was, okay, so when a Shinigami writes down a human's name in their death note, however many years they did have, like they were supposed to have in their lifespan, is instead given to the Shinigami, and they get those years. And it doesn't matter how long, it doesn't matter what you do to a Shinigami, they will have those extra years. So if a Shinigami writes down tons and tons of names, they get a ton of years. Now, I don't know, he didn't specifically say, but I don't think that if Light, cut someone's lifespan short, with the Death Note, I don't think that adds anything to Ryuk. I don't know. Maybe you guys can clarify that one in the comments for me. But he didn't specifically say that. He just said that if Light writes down a name in the Death Note, that those years aren't added to him because he's not a Shinigami, which is interesting. And then we get the revelation that Shinigami have specific, magical eyes, basically, where they can look at a human and see their name and how long they have. So that's the thing, is they don't have this issue that Light has where they don't have the issue that Light has where, he has to have a name and a face. Well, if he has a face and no name, it doesn't work. Or if he has a name but no face, it just doesn't work. And for L, he has neither. That's the biggest problem there. So Ryuk may give his power to Light so that, honestly, this will all become easier. He can just look at that guy, see the name, write him down, and he's done. Because he already has the face from looking at him. But if Light takes this, then he loses half of the remaining years that he has. So, like Ryuk said, if he had 50 more years, then if he gets the power, he'll only have 25 years. That could be an issue. That means Light has an even more limited time that he can do, what he wants, to be the god of this new world. So yeah. But Light does seem kind of enticed by it. He kind of does want to do it. So it's interesting that that's where they leave the cliffhanger, because there's multiple things here that we need to think about for the next episode. They basically gave us 2 cliffhangers. Who is the guy that's following Light? Does he work for L? Is he someone else? Does he suspect Light is Kira? And will Light actually take the power? I could see him doing that because, as he said, that makes it so much easier. And he can, kill even more people, basically, just by looking at them. And then that's how he gets the name. But, on the other hand, I can see it where he wouldn't do it, actually. I can see a possibility that he wouldn't do it just for the challenge, In order to do all this and make it even more of a challenge, he has to figure out who that guy is without Ryuk's power. So I could see him going that route. And so early in the series, I could really see them doing that one, because that would honestly make it more of a challenge, It would make it more of a challenge, and, it wouldn't make things easier. If you make things easier, how the hell are we getting to 37 episodes, I still don't know how we're getting to 37 episodes before all that, eye stuff happened. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and place my prediction as Light won't take Ryuk's power because he wants it to be a challenge. We'll have to see. We'll have to see next time on Death Note. But yeah, another great episode. I'm really loving this series. This is amazing. I have to say, these two anime I'm watching, Death Note and My Hero Academia, they're kind of becoming the highlight of my week. I really love these shows. And they're so different shows. I love that too. But yeah, really enjoyed this episode, and I am super excited to get to the next one. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Death Note reactions, that's what I'm watching, you can click on the playlist. You can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.